a, a Mexican dude about that tall off the ground with dark black hair, short curly hair like this long, lives here. I walked around this corner, and as I did, he was walking straight this way around this wall. When he stood right about here, he turned his head to the right and bit the air, bit the air while mouthing the word gay. So I'm going to say this again. He turned his head to the right, bit at the air, and mouthed the word gay. That's the dude that lives there. He's a, what do you call it, sexual harasser. Somebody told me in my apartment, people are allowed to use whatever words they want. But I told them the words they chose to use is sexually harassing their neighbor. So he bit the air, like he was biting the air, and he mouthed the word gay. That's what he did. And I was told, you're allowed to do those things. But in reality, you shouldn't. Oh, and then the owner, I should probably add this too. I walked from there to right here. The owner of all of these apartments came out of this door. The maintenance man walked out before him, stood right there, and stared at the side of my face while I was talking to the owner. The owner addressed me. He stopped me and said, "Hey, this is my nephew." His nephew was sitting here, and there was a girl right next to his nephew. His nephew looks like he's in his 20s. He said, "Hey, they just moved in next door. Upstairs from you." So the owner knew where I lived, and he also wanted to introduce me to his nephew, who sat right there. And the maintenance man was smiling at the side of my face because his nephew looks gay. And the owner was introducing me to somebody who appeared to be gay, sitting next to a girl who was very silent. And I guess the maintenance man knew what was playing in my head was that the owner was insinuating I must be gay because he's introducing me to a boy who appears to be gay and spoke like with a high voice. His voice had no bass. And the maintenance dude has always been bending over. Like I would walk around one of these corners, like the corner of this building here. And when I got to this side of the building, I would see the maintenance man completely bent over with a very large butt and tight pants on, tight booty. He has gray shorts he likes to wear around the property. And they're tight booty shorts. And he's an old man with a big butt, and he likes to bend over completely. Not like a normal man, but like you were completely bent over like this, and your butt was sticking in the air. So that was who was smiling at me. And the owner of these apartments was insinuating I must be gay because he introduced me to a kid with a very high voice and appeared to be gay. And somebody's using implants to tell me they're going to deny that the boy that was sitting there was gay. But nevertheless, I think it's it's pretty striking that the owner, someone I never met, knew where I lived and also wanted to introduce me to one of the neighbors who moved in above the floor from me. So somehow the owner knows who I am, and for some reason he wanted me to meet his nephew and tell me his nephew was moving in. I also told the owner that he asked me who was I talking to as I walked this way. And I told him someone invented a cell phone you could place inside a human body and use to communicate with them without them being able to turn to stop you. And he just stared at me like he had something he wanted to say but chose not to say it. And then and I think it wasn't to like diagnose a medical diagnosis. It was like a visual threat, like a so what kind of look, a threatening or a so what look that was on his face. Uh, and then what else happened? So I said, "Hi, how you doing?" And then the kid responded in a very, very high voice with no bass, "Hi" back to me, and it's like his voice was changing, and or like went from low to high and stayed high, and there was from my experiences a sign that the kid was gay. And I went to prison. I know gay dudes when I see them and how they talk and how they act. And I also know when somebody's pointing you towards a gay person so that you could be friends with them or develop a relationship, wherever that goes, with that person. So the owner took the side of the very large gay community that lives in all of these apartments. So I'm not saying everybody here is gay, but there is a gay community that lives in these apartments. And the owner of these apartments chose to support the gay community that lives in these apartments. When I walked past him and had no idea who he was, and he stopped me and introduced me to his nephew who sat right there. And that's pretty much telling you the guy who runs these apartments is on the side of the gay community who is terrorizing you with psychological harassment or sexual harassment as quickly as you could walk around the corner or as quickly as you could walk through the apartments. So that's who I met. I don't know, was it like last week? I met the owner and the maintenance dude. These people, they work together. They're gay people and they're using each other to tell lies about one person. And they think if they tell enough lies, nobody will not believe them. You tell one lie and then you tell another lie on top of that lie, and then you tell another lie on top of that lie, you tell another lie on top of that lie, and eventually no one's going to work all the way backwards to prove that each lie you told was a lie. But what I just told you guys was true. That dude, the owner introduced me to someone I'm 100% certain was gay. The maintenance man has been bending over, pointing his butt at me occasionally. He used to do this all the time. Now it hardly happens. When I first moved in, he was constantly bending over and showing me his butt. Whenever I walked around the corner, I'd just see him bent completely over and his butt sticking through like tight booty shorts. And this dude walked around the corner, mouthed the word gay as he bit the air to the left of him, hit the air to the left side of him. It's a Mexican dude. And that's not the first interaction I've had with him. Every time I tell or I make a tweet on YouTube or a tweet or make a post on YouTube, this guy shows up, this person shows up and stands outside his door like he's waiting for something, for me to interact with him, or he's thinking of an interaction to have with me. And today was the first day he chose to say or do something to me to cause an interaction. I guess every single time I walked past him was an opportunity for me to talk to him, but I refused because I'm almost 1,000% positive he was gay. And then when he walked around the corner today, he told me he was gay, which I don't care. It's none of my business. It's not my responsibility I don't care if you're gay. I'm not interested. And I think he told me he was gay because he knew I would be mad. I get mad that he said that, did what he did. And he was also mad that I never spoke to him all the times I'd seen him standing outside his apartment when I walked past him and never spoke to him. I kept walking. And I think as a gay man, he expected me an accused gay man to start talking to him without walking past him. And he got mad today and hoped that whatever he did would escalate things because I kept ignoring him. And the owner of these apartments supports his behavior, the maintenance man's behavior, and the behavior of every other gay person in these apartments who has sexually harassed me, psychologically harassed me, or make gestures towards me without the owner supports this behavior, the neighborhood harassment, and it's happened so quick you can't pull a camera out to record these people. They're using implants to cheat to know when I walk outside my apartment or when I'm going to walk outside my apartment. That is how you can get someone outside quickly, or tell someone, be ready, he's about to come outside right now, I want you to do something. And you can escape the gravity of your actions because no one believes you're using implants. No one believes this is how you are harassing somebody, or how you can always be prepared to bend over, have your butt bent over when they walk around the corner. You know they're coming, but they don't know you're going to be there because the people using implants aren't helping that person. They're helping you. Harassed. So no one wants to come around the corner and see somebody completely bent over with their butt pointed at them. No one wants to come around the corner and see somebody mouth the word gay and bite the air simultaneously as they turn their heads. No one wants the owner of all the apartments they live in to introduce them to a little boy. Why the hell would I want to get to know a 20-year-old boy? I'm 33 years old. I'm a grown man. I'm a 33-year-old man. I have zero interest in getting to know a 20-year-old boy. It's like he's basically calling me a pedophile, thinking I'm some gay dude who's interested in little boys. And that's the owner of this apartment. And the maintenance man was smiling the whole time in the corner of my eyes. So he was supporting the psychological harassment from the owner of these apartments. And that's the gay community. This is what the gay community does to people. And then they hide from the camera when they look guilty. And when they don't look guilty, they'll pop up in front of the camera and smile in your face. So you do it very quickly. You harass somebody very quickly, and you hope that one time when you harass that person, they'll get so mad they'll retaliate with violence or verbally, or argue with you, or do something that makes them look bad, and all the lies you told in the past can be used on that day to take something from them, take something valuable from them, like their home. Take their goal. These people have a goal to destroy the character of a person, to destroy the name, the value, someone's value. My value is maintaining a home. And if somebody hated my character years ago, they would hate the character I have today as well. And having a home proves that I'm responsible. But you can take someone's home from them by harassing them and lying about the harassment. So all the people in society know is that their home was taken, and all the harassment that you did to take their home from them is unknown. That's the gay community. They think they're smart, but it's not possible to do something like this and because somebody will tell on you. The victim will tell. And if the victim's not smart, is uneducated, a lot of people will tell everyone they know, I'm not educated. I can't talk well. I have reading problems, hearing problems, learning problems, all of these serious problems with learning. And if that's true, how did this person learn? How did I figure out a way to remove someone from their home against their will, and not get in trouble? Like not get caught, how do I know that you can harass somebody in your neighborhood very quickly whenever you see them, or whenever you know they're going to be somewhere in your apartment, and lie about it, and then that person, if that person chooses to retaliate, you can get them kicked out. Or as a group, you can lie about one person and then get them kicked out. You sexually harass them. You psychologically harass them. You verbally harass them. You do all types of horrible things and lie and say you never did anything. You have no idea what they're talking about, and tell everyone, I think they have a mental health problem. If you do that, you can effectively kick somebody out of their apartment. Now, I'm not a genius. I can't work backwards and create a cause that will result in being kicked out of your apartment, unless I such as the one I just told you, unless I learned from somewhere, right? I had to have learned you could do what I just said and get somebody kicked out of their apartment. That's the only way I would know how to do that. So the person I learned from, the people I learned from, are the people who live in these apartments. That's how I learned. You can harass somebody in many different ways, and lie to protect yourself, and lie to get them kicked out of their apartment. That's how I learned. I learned from the guy who lived in that apartment, the owner of these apartments, the maintenance man, and the several other gay community members who live in these apartments who have been doing things inappropriately as I walk home or as I walk to my car for years since I moved into this apartment. They are gay people trying to get me to have sex with gay people in this apartment complex or in society. So if I have a great walk, I walked all over in Madison today, and I came home feeling great. And that disappointed the gay community who lives in these apartments. They think that I'm supposed to be in society having sex with gay people. And if they hear that I spent time in society without trying to have sex with a gay person, they want to hurt me, retaliate against my choice to be a part of society without having sex with gay people. And the Retaliation Act was instigation. Instigate. Say something or do something he doesn't like. Mouth the word gay and bite the air next to your face. And that's what the dude in that apartment did. And then look at him stupid if he doesn't respond to you, if he doesn't say or do anything back to you. Look at him like he has like he knows he saw you. Bite the air and mouth the word gay. He look at him just like that. So that's what that dude did. And the retaliation for not choosing to have sex with gay people while I was driving around Madison is the reason I believe this man chose to act this way. Plus, I never spoke to him. I keep walking past him without saying anything. And I think it kept pissing him off. And they just told me in my ears, we're going to lie and say he doesn't give a damn about you. But nevertheless, what I just said happened. And what I said in the past happened. He kept standing by his door acting like he wanted me to interact with him, or he was anticipating interacting with me. And that's how he stood by his door several times as I walked home. And I kept walking past him. But I just told you the truth. There are people in these apartments, gay people, who are harassing me, sexually harassing me, and trying to get me to socialize with gay people in these apartment complexes or outside of these apartment complexes. But like terrorism, like popping out of corners, or like you got to come home and be afraid that somebody's going to say or do something to you that you don't like as you walk home. And that's the gay community. That's not, the gay community isn't friendly, cuddly, and nice like you see on TV. And in person, these people developed a way to harass somebody until they are willing to have sex with them. And then they hide from the camera. And they use implants to help them. But if you don't believe my story about implants, just believe what I just told you, with or without implants. What I just said is happening. These people are hiding now. It looks dead, looks quiet. But if I came home and an hour from now without the camera rolling, there would be people walking around waiting. Well, in certain spots, I don't know, coming up the stairs or popping out the door, and they will mouth or make some type of gesture with their face, with their bodies, as I walked home. And that is the honest, that's the truth. That happens all the time. And it's sexual, well, it's usually sexual in nature or psychologically harassing in nature. Yeah. So that's the gay community in reality. Not the illusion of the gay community on television. In reality, these people work together to get somebody to join their community, have sex with dudes, or have sex with gay women, anal sex with women. It's disgusting. It's a really disgusting group of people who, I take that back. Their culture is disgusting, and the need to force somebody to have sex with gay people is disgusting. And what they're doing is tantamount to group rape. It's the same psychology. It's a psychology of a group rape effort. If you don't want to have sex with us, then you can't be a part of society. We'll take your home, we'll take your job, we'll take your car, we'll take anything we can, piece by piece, until you have nothing and you are willing to have sex with us. That's the gay community. And then they hide from the public. They hide from the public right after. They hide. So it's like you throw a bomb and then you run. You run away. You run away. You run miles away. The bomb is over there. And no one knows who threw it, but it was you. And then you ran miles and miles away from where you threw the bomb. It was you. So that's the gay community. They're doing bad things and then running away and hiding and watching what happens. And then lying to protect themselves after the fact. So, yeah. That's what I learned. I learned how to hurt people from the gay community. And I'm telling you, this is what you can do to hurt somebody, because I learned from these people. I learned that not everybody's gay, but the only people I see in this neighborhood are people in the gay community. People, girls and boys, men and women, open marriages, closed marriages, and gay people. Gay people are the only people I've ever seen in this neighborhood. And they work together. They were helping each other. And I know they're using implants to do it, because there's one in me and there's one in me interfering with my ability to speak right now to you, and use everything in my memory to explain myself to you. Gay people. They learned how to rape people even silently. Not silently, and from a distance, using gestures, body language, and implants up close. So implants beneath the skin electrocute their ears, electrocute their genitals, electrocute their anus, electrocute parts of their brain they need to speak. And then in reality, you can outside of their bodies, you can take their jobs from them. You could tell lies about them. You could steal things from them as a group until that person is willing to have sex with you. And I'm not smart enough to come up with a way to rape somebody and successfully escape the gravity of your actions on my own. I'm just telling you from my experiences and what I've seen. I'm not that smart.